Hello friends, I decided to end July with one last Christmas in July project, and to start you're going to take this 5.5 by 7.5 wood piece from Dollar Tree and you're going to trim or cut the top corners at an angle. My husband did this for me off camera, and then you're going to sand the wood piece. Then you're going to take 2 regular size popsicle sticks and you're going to cut off the rounded parts on both ends. And then once you get that done, make sure to sand that really good. And then you're going to take some antique Waverly wax and a baby wipe, and you're going to stain both the wood piece and the 2 popsicle sticks. And then you want to get all the way around both sides, because you will be able to see both sides. I just don't show that on the video here. And then you're going to make sure that is completely dried. Once that is dried, you're going to go in with ink by Waverly, and I'm going to take my small little distressing brush, and then I'm just going to dry brush the ink all the way around. And I'm only going to do it on the popsicle sticks and on the edges of our big wood piece, because we're going to Mod Podge something over the front of the big wood piece, so you wouldn't be able to see the distressing anyways. But I did this because I was trying to go for like a weathered barn look. So that was my reason for doing that. Then you're going to take your Mod Podge, and I just use regular matte finish Mod Podge. And you're going to do a generous layer over the entire front of your big wood piece. And then just a tip, I'm sure you guys probably already know this, but the thicker you put on the Mod Podge, the longer it does take to dry. And so there I just showed you what we're going to be Mod Podging on, and it is a beautiful, like, rustic Santa napkin in a barn. I thought it was just so sweet. And I got this from another crafter on Facebook a long time ago, so I'm not sure exactly where it came from, and I apologize about that. But you want to make sure that the Mod Podge is completely dried before you move on to the next step, because we're going to be ironing on the napkin. And so once the Mod Podge is dry, then you're going to take your napkin, cut out however much you want. And then I just take some tape. You can also put Mod Podge on your fingers and just kind of rub at the corners of the napkins to peel off the plies. So this is very important. You want to make sure to do that before we go to the next step. And that particular napkin had 2 plies. And then once you peel all the plies off, you're just going to lay your image or your napkin down wherever you want. Lay parchment paper over that and take your iron and just iron straight over it. I love the iron-on method because it prevents wrinkles and bubbles. So I love to use it, especially on napkins. Okay, once you get that iron on, you're going to take your little gator sander and sand off all the excess. And then what we're going to do before we glue the popsicle sticks to the top, it's basically the top of our barn, the roof. We're going to take some Excelsior that I actually found at Goodwill a while back, and I'm gluing it to the back of the popsicle sticks. So once you get that all covered up, then you're going to take your scissors and trim it off a little bit, because we want it to look like basically hay, you know, that somebody's got stored at the top of the barn, and there is hay showing like in the napkin. So I was trying to make this look as much like a barn as possible. Okay, once you get that trimmed off, then you're just going to hot glue the 2 little pieces on for your roof. And I kind of layered one just a little bit over the other one. But you see how it makes it look like there's hay, you know, coming out from behind. I really like the way this is looking so far. But hey guys, if you're enjoying this video and this project, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, I would greatly appreciate it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. And then you're just going to take some fabric. This came from Hobby Lobby, and I decided to use it because it has that rustic look that I'm going for with this project. And all you're going to do is just cut it into strips, however many you want. I just did 2 strips for this because I didn't want a really big bow. because I felt like this project just needed a bow. And then all we're doing is a messy fabric bow, so you just take your strips and just make one loop after another until you're happy. And then I didn't show it, but I did add some more excelsior like in between the strips and the bow, just to again kind of bring out the barn look and everything else. And at first you see here that I glued it at the top center, but off camera I ended up changing my mind and gluing it off centered at the top. But I love how it turned out, guys. And so just make sure to let me know what you guys think. And to, again, go with our barn look, we need a star. Every barn has a star, right? So I just took a rusty star that I got from one of my other followers on Facebook, glued it to the center of the bow. And that's it for this project, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.